shifting careers. Carl Wellenstein just wrote a book. It's called 12 Steps to a New Career. Hello and welcome to Cover by in LA.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Carl, you are also an employment consultant and a career strategist, and you work with people a lot. But there is a difference. When people are forced to switch into a new career because of opportunities, and when people really want to shift careers, are there really differences in terms of what they're looking for?
There should be a difference. In fact, I always suggest you really should look for what you really want to do and what you're best suited to do, and not choose something that somebody else has said that, gee, you really should do this.
Some people do that. When they get here, they say, oh, nurses earn a lot, especially for immigrant communities. They say nurses get paid a lot, so you should get into nursing.
Exactly.
Why is that a bad idea?
Well, if those aren't your skills and that's not where your passion is, you really won't be very good at it in the long run. And what you'll probably find is you won't do well in it, or you'll be unhappy in it. And then in a few years, in the future, you'll be out looking for another job again.
Right. And this is what we call transition. But when is it a good time to transition into a new career? When are you, is it possible that sometimes you're too old to transition or you're too young to transition?
Well, transition is never really a bad time, actually. Transition is another chapter in your life. So whatever you did before, that chapter is behind you. So your transition period is an ideal time for you to take stock in yourself and do some self-discovery. What am I really good at doing and what do I really want to do? I started out life as a CPA. I mean, now I'm a career coach.
Right.
So how did I get to there?
Right.
Well, I realized that I didn't want to do numbers anymore, and I want to work with people.
So it's also possible that at a certain period in your life you wanted to do something, and then after a while you get tired of it, you want to do something else. So this is when you take charge of your career?
You need to take charge of your career right away. But you may change careers over the years. As your interests change, your skills change, you become more exposed or more knowledgeable about, gee, I've done that, okay, I've done that, I was good at CPA, I don't want to do that anymore.
All right.
I want to do something different.
Considering to transition a chapter in your life, being in the moment and taking charge of your career are only 2 steps that people can do when they are in transition. How do you use your time wisely?
You use your time, very good question, use your time wisely by keeping track of what you're supposed to be doing every day. So if you set up a task plan and say, okay, today I'm going to do something, and make a list of what those things are you're going to do.
Okay.
It makes kind of a difference if you have the luxury of being able to look for new careers and do some research on what are you really good at doing and what I really want to do. On the other side, you may be, I have to put food on the table.
Right, exactly. Does it always help to stop for a moment and take a 6-month course, but then at the same time you're unable to work?
Ideally, if you can take that transition time and invest it in yourself, that's an ideal time to take a look at your career, because you want to take charge of your career no matter when you are in your life. And the sooner you do that, the sooner you'll be able to find your career destiny.
What's the average transition time? Is it 6 months, 9 months, a year for people?
Yeah, that's a hard... I won't answer that. It's a hard question to answer. Well, it depends on if you're 22.
You have all the time in the world.
You got all the time in the world. If you're 52, or actually, I targeted my book initially at 49-year-old because that's the toughest time of your life to transition for a new job.
Right.
When you turn 50, you better have a good network. If not, you better create one. So it really depends on what your age is, what industry experience you have, what your function was.
Right.
Is your function, are those skills being transferred overseas? Is the industry dying?
Despite the differences, though, there is one thing that's common in job searching. And you say that in your book, you discuss that in your book. It's a lot like fishing?
Yeah, it is.
How?
It's a lot like fishing. You know, you want to fish where the fish are. So that means companies want to hire people that do what they want them to do.
Okay.
So if you are a financial person, let's say you have a financial background, and you look at a job opportunity and say, gee, I could do that. That's the wrong way of thinking about it, because there are thousands of people that are saying the same thing. I can do that.
Right.
They're looking for somebody that has done it.
Okay.
So when you look at a job opportunity, if you say, gee, I can do that, wrong way to look at it. If you look at it and say, I've done that.
Right.
That's my job.
So then that's you.
That's you.
But this is where the catch-22 comes in, because they typically hire someone with experience, but how can you get experience if you're not given the chance to do it?
Well, when you're in the early stage of your career, you have skills and you have experiences, and you want to try to talk to people that are in the job you want and find out, gee, how did you get to where you are? What skills do you think are necessary to do this job?
Oh, okay.
Is there some education I need to do? Is there some other training or
Right.
other jobs I could do that would qualify me for this job?
So basically, you learn from your networking, you learn from other people, or you can learn from the book, 12 Steps to a New Career. Where is the book available?
Amazon, on my website, Barnes & Noble.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Thank you so much and more power to you.
Thank you.
When we return on the show, tips naman po para sa ating mga kababayan na